Can you hear me? Sucker! I don't know why I thought about WWF. Maybe the music is louder. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, it takes a long time before I have a response from you guys. The lag is... of course, my... fuck. Windows Explorer decided to freeze. So here, what I want to try to do, well, we'll see if that works, is I want to try and add an enemy to that game, and it's been a while since I've worked on it, so it's gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna have something done. So the enemy I want to add is hold on, let me just go pick up some reference so that you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna lower the audio, otherwise I'm not gonna hear myself. All right. Hold on, let me just find the thing I'm looking for. Oh, there it is. Yay. JoJo reference. I don't know much about JoJo, actually. So probably not. So what I'm looking for in this enemy is god damn it, where it is. Where is it? I mean oh, this thing. I mean, I don't want to do exactly that, but something like that. So let me just create my main language is French. Let me just hold on. Can't you see I'm a professional streamer? Hold on, I'm just wrestling with Chrome at the moment. I just want to share the link to the stream quickly so that people know that what I'm doing. All right, I'm done. So the idea of this enemy is to like I wanted to shoot, mainly I wanted to shoot an arcing bomb that will explode. The idea is that the bomb will explode multiple times, so it will be a longer explosion that you'll have to deal with. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We just need to create one enemy first, create a new enemy. And yeah, so first create that enemy. So I'm gonna use these I'm gonna use this graphic for now. So what? Whoa. Okay. Hold on. God, it's been a while since I've set up my stuff to do that kind of thing. All right. So we want to. Oh, wait a second. Is my magic wand okay? Like 0 tolerance. Thank you. And oh, that's what I thought. I thought there would be like, okay, cool. And so let's just, my enemy will be bigger than this, so I'll make I make a bigger canvas. So this is like 47 by 52. I guess that'll be fine for now. And all right, so I have my folders here. I have the whole project essentially, and I go in the enemies folder. These are all the enemies. Lots of enemies. This includes the bosses and everything. So essentially I'm just gonna take a folder and copy it. Because I don't want to recreate all the folders all the time, so I have already some enemies, like the grenade guy from Unlimited. I'm gonna take this folder, copy, paste, pretty simple, and I'm gonna call it, oh, what am I gonna call it? I'm just gonna call it like a mortar cannon. Because I haven't really created a visual for it, let alone a name, so I'm just gonna call it like mortar cannon. And here I have all the stuff from the grenade guy. So there's the XGUN, which is the main file that specifies a bunch of things. It specifies the each animation file path and name, and the name of the animation that will be used in the code, and it has a bunch of parameters like its weaknesses, every like damage multiplier, and all of the other parameters like damage, hit points, and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna call it mortar cannon. And in this case, the enemy will have a will it be shooting horizontally and then an arcing shot? So I guess it will have I guess it will have a idle animation. It will have a horizontal shot animation and you know, arcing shot. Babality. Friendship. And I'll just go with these animations for now. Finish him. Scorpion wins. So, alright, I've got these animation names, but now the names of the sprite files is wrong, but for now I'll leave it like that. So there's the art folder where you have all of these, you know, the sprites. So I'm just gonna flush all of that, and I'm gonna save a first animation, a first image, I mean. Where is it? All right. Art. PNG. So I'm gonna call it mortar cannon idle. All right, so I have one image so far, and so this is the art, but there's also the collisions. In this case, I'll take an image from another enemy that I know works because it's complicated. Copy, and I'm gonna use it in this delete. So for the collisions, hi DioZX. The collisions is basically, it's gonna be quite simple here. It's gonna be just the color you see here, the red, is basically, it has the behavior of the enemy just gets hit by anything. It's not, you know, it's not shielded or anything. So it's gonna be it, because it's gonna be an enemy that you just shoot, and you know, there's no, maybe I'll add a shield if I find it's too easy, but it needs to be the same size as the other one, which is 47 by 52. And let me just put some more music. Hold on, let me find something. Oh, I wanted the entire soundtrack. Is there something? Hold on. There it goes. What language? I mean, it's C++. So now what I'm gonna do is just take this, and the enemy is, you know, let's just so all of these pixels will, like, if one shot hits it, it's gonna hurt the enemy. So just make something to make sure that, you know, anything will hit it. Like this. This will be the basic collision. Save as. And I usually name these files like collision. And it's the collision where he's vulnerable. So we have a sprite collision, and now it's and we have it's nice, we have the graphics and collision, but we need a SPR file that will specify, you know, the files that, like, hold on. I'm just gonna call it idle. It doesn't matter what I put there anyway, but you know, I like to name them anyway. The enemy is I call the mortar cannon, and I just came up with that name like 5 minutes ago. So it's gonna be basically an enemy that shoots horizontally and then shoots an arcing bomb. So here it's the first, and it's the idle animation. So it's gonna be, for now, it's gonna be only one frame. It's gonna be looping, and it's the delay doesn't really matter because it's only one image so far. So I'm gonna go get the name of the file. So then this image is being used, and then we go match the collision with that image. Hey, that's the wrong name. Oh, I didn't save it. All right. I don't know why, but I'm in the Mortal Kombat mood these days. And here we have these X and Y handle values, which are basically the origin of the enemy, like the center of it. In this case, we want the center to be like at its feet. It's gonna be where the ground, when it touches the ground, so I'm gonna put this location here, and it's basically 2248. Hold on, let me just check. 47. No, I'm sorry, it's gonna be 2348. That's the coordinate of the enemy, the center of the enemy. Oh, 48. Actually, it's been I don't know what, 1 month and a half since I've touched this thing. So yeah. Sorry, I can't stop sneezing. Okay, so mortar, cannon. So this is gonna be mortar, cannon. Don't you love info pop-ups that just go, they're just displayed on top of everything else and you can't see? So this animation is mortar, cannon. Oh, sorry, I just hit the mic by mistake. So mortar, cannon, idle. So we've got this animation, and in the XGUN file, we're gonna point to that sprite file. I know that maybe some of you worked on hold on, did I just do something stupid? Did I delete something I shouldn't? No. Okay, cool. So we point to that file here. So for now, I'm just gonna have this a single animation. Now let's just, you know, let's just run the game. Okay, it's built. All the changes are up to date. Debug. Jeez, it's been a while. I just stopped the music for now. Sorry for the sniffing, it's just that my nose is itchy. forgot this controller doesn't work. Hold on. I'm just gonna plug in another controller. I have thousands of controllers. I don't know about the music of the game yet. I will wait until I have a game before I start thinking about the music. So now all the music is temporary. Is it working? Oh, crap. Controller wasn't set up yet. Oh, it's not working. This looks like I'm having controller problems, so I'm probably gonna end up using the keyboard. And it's the wrong port. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna use the keyboard. Is this controller still working? It's been a while since I used it. None of the buttons work, so screw it, I'm using the keyboard. All right. Sorry, okay. That was weird. Okay. So I'm gonna pick a location to test that stuff. Ugh. See, that's a weird bug I have and I don't know what to do about it. Sometimes that enemy just disappears for no reason. Nothing. Yay. Okay, I'm gonna put my enemy here. Just to test. This is a spiky ceiling. By the way, the graphics are just ugly. So, in order to test an enemy, first I need to add it to the game. So, these are all the code files. And which one am I gonna use? I'm gonna use, I think I'm gonna go, with the grenade soldier thing again. So essentially, I just want to create the same thing as the grenade soldier for now. I'm gonna open these files, which are the code of the grenade soldier, and I'm gonna save them as a new enemy. What do you mean, Marco? I just never updated to the new version. It's working. I'm using that. That's it. So we have a .h file and we have a .cpp file. For now, it's just going to be a copy of the grenade soldier, essentially. So it's not an engine that's been, it's not an engine like Unity or anything like that. They're a lore game maker, so it's all made by hand, essentially. So, yeah. Speaking of music, we'll just put back the other music for now, because, you know, it's cold, it's boring. So let me just essentially just update all of that stuff with the new enemy name, and if my headphones could stop falling off, that would be great. Isn't this exciting? So here I have to declare the states, basically, states of the enemy. I'm gonna have only one state for now. It's gonna be idle, and I'm gonna leave the message there. Game object target hidden. So all these variables, I'm gonna leave them there for now. And in the CPP file, I'm gonna update the names, keep all that stuff, and I'm gonna remove this. Oh no, I'm gonna keep it. The bullet, and this is the path to the XGUN that you saw. This file in mortar cannon, enemy mortar cannon.xgun. So the same file. I always make sure that the name is the same. Well, it is code, so I am not sure if I should start explaining everything, but essentially here all of the changing the names here so that it points to mortar cannon instead of grenade soldier. So that it compiles. So here I declared the state idle, so I should remove all the other states. So we have grenade soldier here, and it should be idle instead of hidden. Remove the pop state, change state idle. So now we play an animation, and the animation we play is basically the same name as in the XGUN file. It's idle. So the animation idle, and we're gonna be done with this part for now, and this should be renamed idle. play the animation for now. There's a lot of for now because we're just reusing existing stuff to at least get something working. Remove this and alright, save, and we need to add these files to the project. Add existing item. I like the song. Go get, oh no, it's not in bin, it's in source, game object, enemies, and it's gonna be the mortar cannon, both files. So essentially I created a new object called mortar cannon, and it's been added to the project so it compiles with everything else. But there's another thing we need to do. We need to go to the file that's called where is it? Yeah, this one, object factory. It points to every single object in the game, and it's basically used to create the objects when they're spawned. So we have a new enemy, so we're gonna point to the .h file. So most of that stuff in modern game engines is done automatically, or you don't necessarily have to worry about it, I think. So this is only because I know how that works, so I know what I have to do when I add something. So this is really all of the enemies. It also includes all of the projectiles and all that stuff. So we have to register mortar cannon. Alright. So now that I have this, let's build. I told you guys that game dev is boring. So now we look at if there's going to be any errors. And I'll probably need to recompile everything. Hey, it succeeded. Nice. So I'm going to rebuild. It's going to take a while. So it's going to compile for a while, but we have other things. Yeah, god damn it, my nose is itchy. What the hell happened? It hasn't happened all day. Sorry. So, but now we have something else to do, because so far we've only created an enemy, but we need to go place it in the level so that we can, you know, actually see it. Did I save that? Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go see the level itself. So in bin we have levels, and we have all the levels. As you can see, I still have the old levels. So I'm gonna open Grapnel. It has just 3 areas, 3 rooms. I'm gonna open all of them so you can see. God damn it, I keep knocking the mic. Man, this is really guerrilla style. Did I? Alright. Okay. So this is in Photoshop, as you can see. And I have a nice little grid in Photoshop that is like 16 by 16 squares, like the tiles, basically the basic tiles. And now every single room is separate images. That's how they are in the game. They must all be separate images. So what usually what I do, well, I'm gonna do it right here because I will need to do it anyway. Did I actually do it before already? I think I did. Yay! Oh, it's coming back to me now. I already did it. So here's the Grapnel Man stage. It's a bigger PSD file, Photoshop document file, and it's all of the sections placed next to each other so that we can actually see the whole thing. The big not purple, that's pink. The big pink rectangle is the is the compactor ceiling that you saw. It's just for me to know where it is. Yeah, so so okay, so now how it works in the game is that every section has a scene file which specifies where each enemy is placed. And by where I mean the X and Y coordinates. So so if I want to place an enemy, like, I don't know, here. I want the enemy to be, you know, here. I'm gonna use the coordinates in Photoshop, basically, because I don't have something else right now, but just to, you know, explain how it works. Coordinate is here. It's I don't know, 185, 191. Oh man, I can't stop sniffing. It's annoying. So if I go in the scene file of this section, which is Grapnelman section 3, where is it? This one. Oh yeah, that's right, there's nothing. We'll use another one as an example. There's nothing in this one either. I'm gonna use the section 1 where there's all these enemies. Now I'm doing it by hand, but I'm gonna show you something else. Because it's a new enemy, I haven't added it to the level editor, so I'm gonna place it by hand just to show you, and because I'm a bit lazy right now. So I think you can see the text probably, but so I'm gonna write Mortar Cannon because that's the name of the enemy, and its position is gonna be 185, 191. Is it facing right? No, it's facing left. Respawn on death, does it mean that, you know, does it come back when you die? respawn on screen is does the enemy come back when you kill it, and it, you know, and its spawn point comes back on screen. Auto respawn is it like if you kill it, will it respawn? It's like Tilly's coming out of, you know, coming out of all holes in the background. These have a respawn delay. Delete one off screen, true. That's like if the enemy gets off screen, we just kill it. Collectibles, it's false because it's not a collectible. And we have 3 custom attributes we can use to do all kinds of neat things that are unique to some enemies. So save that. Now let me just show you the level editor. Oh god, we have the Mortal Kombat, you know. I'm just gonna change to something else. I can't really put like copyrighted. Oh, let's no, that's not. That's gonna distract from everything else. Let's just use. Where is it? Hold on, I'm just looking for a song. Where is it? Sorry. Well, let's just use that for now. So, this is the level editor. You can see that this is Comet Woman stage, and you have the list of enemies here, not only enemies but platforms and stuff. You can see there are easy blocks that are used when you play on easy, and yeah, so let's go find Grapnel Man's. Oh, I didn't. Did I add them? Oh, I only added the first one. Anyway. You have the first section here with you can see, of course, the editor has been done really quickly because it was done in our spare time, and Gab has been cool enough to actually make the editor, so that's already more than I can hope for. So basically this thing allows you to add new enemies and place them by looking at the map and place them visually. You're using the X and Y coordinates here and these buttons, so it's easier than going in the text file and placing it yourself. And I really need to update it with the new section. And meanwhile, the game built, so we can actually test if that worked. But first, let's look at the code a little bit. So in idle state, we play the idle animation. Once the animation has played once, we change state to pop. That's not gonna work because the enemy no longer has the state. So I'm gonna remove that. And Okay, it changes the side it faces depending on your location. So I'm gonna rebuild that, but not, you know, everything, just build it quickly. All right. Let's take a look. I hope it's not gonna crash. Surprise, it's not Grapnel Man. So I use the now I use the cheat key to get directly to the next section without having to walk there. Let's see. Hey, it's there. Alright. So when I get on each side of it, it flips. So it's working. It's there. I can shoot it. It explodes. Cool. Yay! First part is done. We have an enemy there. Only took what, half an hour? Maybe more. So now comes the part where we will change how it behaves. So yeah, Marco, it's the wrong side because I didn't save the sprite facing the correct side. So let's fix that, right? So we go get the enemy. Where is it? Mortar cannon art. So basically we just flip it, because by default the enemy is facing right. So of course it's not gonna be this image. I'm gonna edit it to have a new look. I'm not gonna use that exact same, you know, sprite. It's just a placeholder for now. But now what I want to do is I want to make the enemy fire an horizontal shot. Yeah, that's Ninja Gaiden music. So what okay, so now I have to think about it more. I have to, you know, make sure that the enemy, like, how many states does it have? Like, it has a state where it shoots a shot horizontally, then it will wait a little while, and then it will fire a shot, you know, a bomb, arcing bomb. So the idle state will be the state where it will do nothing, and I'll have new states that, you know, it's gonna be one where it's gonna be shoot horizontal, and one where it's gonna be shoot bomb. And Now another thing, I'm gonna remove all these variables and I'm gonna create my own for this particular enemy. Because, you know, I like to do it from scratch by myself because I know what I'm doing instead of, you know, trying to reuse variables and not knowing which ones are used where and all that stuff. So I'm gonna have a boolean, which is basically just a true false. It's gonna be, am I shooting horizontal or not? Or am I shooting a bomb or not? So I'm gonna call it just bomb. And another variable is gonna be a simple timer, just to you know, the countdown between each shot, right? So yeah, I think that's it. So save that, and in the mortar cannon, it's gonna be it's always gonna start, like, is it always gonna start with the bomb or is it gonna start with the horizontal shot? For now, I'm gonna say it start with the bomb. So it's gonna be true, bomb is true, timer is, timer will be maybe like 1 second, or maybe no, maybe a half a second. So it has its hit points, blah blah blah, idle, okay, cool, and remove the hidden reference because it's no longer, it doesn't exist anymore. Now, when we enter the idle state, the timer is going to be, it's going to start at 0.5, and the timer is going to go down as the enemy is in the idle state. So m timer minus equal get delta time. This means the timer will go down as it's in this loop. So we don't want this bit of code just yet. We can keep the facing left and right, but what we want here is when the timer has reached 0, so this is going to be a condition, if timer is smaller, lower or equal to 0, then we will change state to shoot. Oh, you see, this is the thing here is when the timer reaches 0, we either change to shoot horizontal or we change to shoot bomb. So within the timer reaches 0 condition, we will have another condition. So if bomb is true, we will change the state. Wow, I can't write. So my name states are shoot bomb and shoot horizontal. So if it's a bomb, we change to shoot bomb. good night. Ortega. So if it's bomb, change state to bomb. Else we change state to shoot horizontal. Now we need to you know, determine what happens in these other states. So we're gonna just copy these states and, you know, remove every this is just to keep the proper, you know, the code as it is, and, you know, replace it with what I want to do. I keep hitting keys by mistake. Nice. All right. So so this is an enemy that's gonna shoot a bomb, and it's gonna alternate between shooting a bomb and shooting a horizontal shot, basically. And so far it's supposed to be in Grapnel Man's stage. So I now have my two other states. So I know I have an enemy already that can shoot a bomb, and that's the grenade guy. So when the grenade guy pops, he shoots something, and this is the line of code that shoots that grenade. So when we enter the shoot state, shoot bomb state, I'm gonna put this line, and basically it's gonna right away change its state to idle. Sight and clock. Yeah, it's much easier with 0. Like 0 just destroys everything. So we start, like, the enemy starts with bomb being true, but after it fires a bomb, we want this variable to be false because we want to alternate between the two, right? So when we exit in the shoot bomb state, and bomb will be false. All right, so I know I could do something more, you know, optimal. I could have just one state where we shoot, and have another variable to switch between what I shoot. But, you know, for now I want to use two different states because, you know, I might want to have different animations. I don't know, but maybe later I will optimize it. So shoot horizontal is gonna be just an horizontal shot. So what enemy can I use that already has that? It's pretty easy. Oh yeah, I know. So oh, let's see what that does. We might have a couple of errors, but we'll see. So here I have variables that I don't really use, and I'll just remove that. That's where the error comes from. All right, no errors. Wow, things are going well. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Crash. Sorry. Let me guess. Shoot bomb, shoot. Oh, I know why. I don't need to debug or anything. I know why it's crashing. I forgot to register the states, the new states. I always forget that. It's always a real bad feeling when that happens. But it happens all the time. What fun! Oh! So we've got a shot. Now why did it crash? It seemed to crash when the bomb exploded. But maybe maybe that's not the reason why. Let's just remove the horizontal shot to see if it still crashes. It's like I haven't been coughing or sneezing or itchy nose or runny nose like for weeks and months now, but now it happens. Jesus. I knew it was because of something else. It didn't make sense that the grenade crashed the game. So I know that's because of that code. So let's use something else. I could just code what I need, and maybe that's what I'll have to do anyway, but I always try to use something else that I know will work. Yeah, these shots should do the trick. And because it's firing much too fast, I'm gonna reduce the timer. I mean, I'm gonna increase the timer. I'm gonna put it at like, I don't know, 2 seconds. We have a bunch of errors. That's because I didn't add these files at the top. Let's try again. Did you see? It fired a shot, but it didn't move forward. There are multiple shots there. Here. So there's no speed to these shots. I'm looking at the okay, set move speed. It has no. Okay, that's because this line of code looks for a parameter called bullet speed in the object, but it doesn't exist. So I'm gonna set the speed at 100 and the angle. I'm not gonna use that because it's meant to fire 3 shots, and I don't want 3 shots. It's the shot pattern of the Met. So I'm just gonna leave the horizontal shot, and yeah. I'm missing semicolon. I like that the debug window of the game always goes on top of the viewer count, so I cannot see. Oh, alright. Oh, that's what I want. go on the other side and see what happens. It's working. Oh, let's just try. Did you notice that there's no ceiling? So we've got a working enemy. Now, next step will be to, you know, come up with some visuals for it. So we leave the coding for now. I think I need to think about the visual before I actually do it. I'm gonna leave soon actually, sorry. Because it's like midnight here. So what could I show you? Oh, let's look at, we're gonna go back to coding actually. So let's look at the grenade that the enemy shoots, right? Grenade soldier shot. So what does it do when it's moving? Blah blah blah. If it doesn't handle gravity, basically when it touches something, it runs the explosion function, and the explosion function I mean it plays the sound big explosion, it kills the enemy, and it launches another type of bullet called explosion. So for this enemy, I don't want the same exact bomb as everything else. I want the bomb to, you know, when it hits, it launches like, it will launch like 4 or 5 explosions. So to do that, I can actually take this object and modify it a little bit. I'm gonna save it as a new file. I'm gonna call it, oh god, what should I call it? Multi-bomb. A bomb with multiple explosions. How could I call it? Lingering bomb? I'm just gonna call it multi-bomb. Not gonna spend the night on that. See, come up with names and code. It doesn't really matter as long as they make sense. And then we can come up with the cluster. I don't know if it's a cluster. It's like, it's not like, it doesn't spread. Or maybe I should actually spread. Oh, I'm gonna call it a cluster bomb. That's a good idea. Cluster bomb. Like, I'm gonna probably give a bit of randomness to the explosion. So yeah, that makes sense. It doesn't actually release a bunch of, shrapnel. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Marco. Glad it wasn't boring as hell. Good night. I'm gonna go soon too. But I just want to try this a little bit. Cluster bomb. I'm gonna leave it just like it is, except just change the name. What? Oh, okay. This is the path to the object in the enemy folder, so bullet folder, so that's fine. Now the difference here is when the bomb is gonna explode, it's not gonna kill itself, it's gonna become invisible, and it's gonna launch multiple explosions. So it needs a timer. So instead of being a separate function, it's gonna be, it's gonna be a separate state, and it's gonna be called exploding. And in the exploding state is going to have a timer just like the other object, and it's going to keep releasing explosions until the timer, until a certain number of explosions have been released. It's enough Ninja Gaiden 1, let's go with Ninja Gaiden 2. So, if Handel's gravity is false, we go to change state. Exploding. I need a timer. So when it enters the exploding state, the timer will be almost at 0, and so the timer goes down. Okay, if the timer is smaller, lower, or equal to 0, god damn it, I can't type. Then it's gonna launch an explosion. also I need a number of explosion. So a variable is going to be m number of explosion. And when we enter the exploding state, the number of explosion is going to be 0. And every time the timer is below 0, we will launch an explosion and increase the number of explosion by 1 and reset the timer to, I don't know, 0.2 seconds. So timer is 0, launch an explosion, increase the number. Okay, so we launch an explosion when the timer reaches 0, but we also need to stop. We keep launching explosion as long as the number of explosion is below 5, for example. If the timer is below 0 and the number of explosion is smaller, or equal to 4, launch an explosion. Else, kill yourself. I mean, the grenade. So, will that work? Oh, we have something here as well. I need to remove this reference to the explosion and make it change state to this exploding state. So now I need to add this. Need to add this to the project. Bullets, cluster bomb, add. And now I need to go back to the object factory list and add the new object. It's gonna be cluster bomb. It's in bullets. Bullets. No, not that. All right. Taking a break while it's building. So now it's pointing to the grenade. Hold on, that's the grenade man, not grenade man, but grenade soldier shot. So I'm gonna create another folder with this bomb. because it needs to have its you know, it needs to have its own graphics. I'm gonna call it cluster bomb. And I need to do the same thing I did with the other object. I mean, when I created the cannon, I need to do the same thing. This is the grenade. Let's do something else. Let's it's weird, the brush is a different size than what it actually draws. That's odd. Let's make it I don't know, blue for now. I know it's pretty generic, but it will do for now. Oh god, I love this song. I'm gonna keep it open. This is the collision, right? It seems alright, seems fine. Let's keep that. Now, sprite cluster bomb needs to point to these images that I renamed. So same for the collisions. God, I put the second capital letter after the first one, and it doesn't want to rename. That's just great. Thanks. Why? It doesn't want to rename itself. Yay! Okay, so I'll just screw it. I'm gonna just put it like this. All right. Okay, so I have this. Okay, I need to point to the right sprite file, cluster bomb. We call it cluster bomb as well. Let's go. All right. Sorry, this is kind of. I will change the path because I saw some errors, so I'm gonna have to fix errors anyway. So it will point to the new file. Now go back to the cannon itself. It needs to launch a new object and not the grenade from before. So it's gonna launch a cluster bomb. Change the references. Oh, okay, there's a... I'm gonna have to do another thing, which is add one type of bullet to this list. Cluster bomb. The good thing about this is that I can reuse that object and in some other enemy if I want. Firearm.h, firearm. It needs to point to the right class. I think that's a class. Sorry, I actually had to go blow my nose. So now, sorry, I mean my nose is really annoying, but So yeah, okay. So basically, I'm building now, but I saw some errors. But the thing is that I have to rebuild the entire thing most of the time because I find that if I don't do that when I add a new enemy, um, it's gonna like it for some reason it creates some errors and doesn't properly add the new enemies sometimes. Like sometimes I will add a new enemy, and if I don't rebuild the whole thing, I'll just walk in the stage and the enemy will just not show up. So, yeah, so usually rebuilding the entire thing will fix those things. So now I just don't take any chance. And yeah, so it takes a while to rebuild everything. I saw there were some errors. Missing. Oh, that's really a stupid error. I forgot the equal. If that's the only error, I mean, good God, I'm getting better. So sorry it's taking a while. Otherwise, you know, sometimes I didn't, before I discovered that problem, I would just like keep looking for the reason why the enemy doesn't show up, and it takes forever. So meanwhile, let's check this. Okay, so it's the correct file. Okay, the animation. Oh, I'm gonna have to come up with another animation. So as you know, when the bomb will explode, it stays there while it launches the explosion, but it will need to be invisible while it does that. Otherwise, the bomb's gonna just be there. It's gonna look weird. So let's do that while it's building. I'm gonna go get the where is it? The cluster bomb. So we need a new animation. It's gonna be called cluster bomb invisible. And the art of it is gonna be mind-blowing. It's gonna be this. I know, right? And I'm gonna call it cluster bomb invisible. Also, the invisible cluster bomb needs to not have a collision. So I'm gonna save a separate collision like this. I know I can disable its collision in code, but you never know. I might want to make an explosions graphic or something. I'm gonna call it no collision. And since it's a new animation, okay, it finished building. There's errors. Let's just try the fix I did. Oh, oh, I need to, okay, to place that. And okay, I need to go back to the editor here and I need to save a new animation file. Cluster bomb invisible, and it's gonna refer to the new art, the new amazing art that I made just now, which is invisible, and the collision that has no collision. That's deep, man. And save that as cluster bomb invisible. Yes. Why is it taking so long? I didn't. Oh, okay. I guess that's because I replaced something that it couldn't read before. Anyway. The next tactics. I swear, man, we were so close to recording it a couple weeks ago, but Candy Bars had, you know, computer problems, and his voice was lagging, and you know, sharing the screen with the everyone just blew up his computer or something. So hello, Mido Seito Akage. Welcome. Although I'm gonna leave in a few minutes. Here. While it's building, just look at shampoo. I really hate having to wait for it to build. I mean, it's not really entertaining to watch this thing. Mito Seito, your name sounds Japanese. Are you in Japan? Because if you are, it's the afternoon over there. It is rebuilding a whole bunch of things. And the thing is, I can't even play the game while it's doing that because it deletes the whole thing and rebuilds everything. While it's building, have a look. Meanwhile, it was either I was doing this or I was drawing. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll do some game stuff. You know, it's been a while, and people wanted me to do a dev video. Where? It's, oh god. Sorry about that. look up my own stuff in the search bar.
にーはお、あれも見ないかもね。どっから来たか？私シャンプーね。
This thing took me longer to animate than the actual video.
大歓喜。最大的スペシャルなメガフィルエクスビデオへよく来たね。ゆっくりしてくね。私のこのアニメ、フィルが作ってくれたね。これ、ただのアニメない。私の可愛さが一気に伝わる画期的アニメね。フィル、私にこう言ったね。このアニメ作るとき、すごく楽しかったと。フィルが楽しいと、私、幸せね。お前たちもどうやってアニメができたか見るやらし。楽しんでもらえると、私もフィルも最大的幸せね。しまったね、そろそろショーが始まってしまう。私はそろそろ行かなくてはならないそうだね。またアニメの世界で会うね。
Alright, let's look at... Is it done now? Jeez, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Yes, she says Megafil X. I met this girl on Twitter who can imitate Shampoo's voice like perfectly, and I worked on that animation with her. I sent her, like, I told her what to say and, well, gave her like basic instructions, and she improvised a lot of dialogue, and I'm really happy to have been able to do that. Oh yeah, fan service. I animated that whole scene to fit what she says. It took longer than the actual animation that in the video itself. So now I have an error, but with the save I was gonna do, it should be fine. It's not over yet. Oh, Warida. Come on. There you go. Speaking of Metal Gear, I haven't bought Death Stranding. I'm really not impressed by what I saw. It looks boring. It looks like all the bad things about MGS5. But they made a game out of that. Alright, we have built the game. We can now try the game and see if it crashes. It always crashes at first. Yay! It crashed right at the beginning. Alright, let's look at this. What did I forget this time? It doesn't play the right name of animation. That's already bad. My favorite Metal Gear Solid game is 2, personally. It's one of the games that got me interested in game development even more. I wasn't already in video game when it came out, but I found it fascinating. There's always a problem. Okay, so we've got our new animation. And there's something wrong. What fun! Fun times. All right. What the hell is going on? All right. There's something wrong. I need to figure it out and fix it. So when it touches the floor, it should go to exploding. The timer is not reset. No, it is reset. Why is it doing that? Like when it's touching Mega Man, it keeps changing to... Okay, I know. It's because it touches Mega Man, it keeps changing to the exploding state, and since it's always touching Mega Man, it keeps resetting the exploding state all the time, and it never comes out of it because the enemy, the grenade never dies. So I need to get it. I need to check if we are in the current state. We shouldn't change again to that state. So let's find the thing that checks if we are, if current state, yeah, if current state is not exploding, then we change to state exploding. But if we are already, we don't do anything. That will for sure help. If we are not in state exploding, change state to exploding. And if that's not the case, then we just don't do anything. If we enter that state, let's just try it and see if it still explodes like crazy. I like this Donkey Kong music with the rain. I love this ambience. Good stuff. Alright, let's see. Oops. Sorry. I pressed the button one too many times. So I skipped to a room that doesn't exist, so crashed. See, only one explosion now. So, but now the problem is that it doesn't do anything, that it doesn't do that loop with the many explosions, so there's something wrong. So Maybe I need to change my condition. Alright, if the timer is below 0, then making a game is not easy. Okay, so if the timer is 0, then if the explosion the number of explosion is below 4, like at first the number of explosion is 0. So when it enters this, the timer will reach 0, and the number of explosion is below 4, so it will launch, it play the sound, launch the explosion, and then it will increase the number of explosion by 1, reset the timer, and when the timer reaches 0 again, the value will be 1, so it's still below 4. It should be fine with this. I forgot to add another animation to the list. Invisible. You see, I've been working on this for like what, 2 hours now, and I don't have a fully done enemy yet. Before you know it, it's time to go to bed, and you just did, and that was fast because I already have the structure in place, so it doesn't take too much time to do something. But when you have nothing, just having some basic stuff takes forever. Alright, so let's see what it does. Hey, it works. What I don't understand is why I still see the bomb that should be invisible. Oh, that's because I forgot to play the animation invisible. That's why it's still there. My next step will be to add an offset to the explosion so that it plays in different coordinates. It doesn't play at always at the same time. It's gonna play like randomly a little bit right, left, up or down. I will need to like generate random numbers and stuff. But that will be for another day. I'm just gonna verify it's invisible. Say Ichi-san. Alright. So I'm gonna stop here, guys. I need to go to bed. Tomorrow's gonna be a busy day. And I'll try to stream more often, as usual. Unfortunately, I never know if I'll be able to do it. So stay tuned, follow me on Twitter or on Facebook and the Mega Man Unlimited page. And next time maybe it will be drawing, maybe it will be this again, but we'll see. In the meantime, I'll probably have finished this enemy. We'll see. So thanks to everyone who showed up tonight, and I hope you didn't find this too boring and weren't disgusted by me sniffing and snorting a little bit. So yeah, thanks for being here, guys, and thank you for all the good, the kind comments, and well, see you next time. Bye.